the statute. I cited you the statute. You could have read it. You chose not to. So the reason that you all are about to steal, and let's be clear, it would be stealing capital outlay money that you did not spend on the project you were supposed to spend it on, which is supposed to be returned to the town, something that is clearly foreign to this elected body, is because for the past 2+ years, as shared by me in the fall, when Julie and Ellen and various people did a pantomime and called me an idiot, this committee has allowed its administration to basically zero out its curriculum development budget, to grab more than half and sometimes 2/3 of your professional development budget, which each year was $360,000 and change, to grab all the supplies and materials budget that it could. It cut more than 1/3 of your $700,000 supplies and materials budget each year. Do you know why you have those budgets? It's to do things like buy curriculum. In fiscal year 2021, this school committee purchased a math curriculum from its operating budget. I know, shocker. They actually did what they were supposed to do. You want to make another one-time ask? Your one-time asks since you took office and this superintendent was hired have totaled over $1,300,000. Are you ever going to learn to live within your means? You signed a contract in June of 2021 that you knew could not be afforded. It included a 0.5% backdated raise. You took reserves to fund that. You then moved forward and couldn't fund the 2% COLA plus the steps and lanes, thereby grabbing and allowing your admin to grab all of your funds that should have gone for this curriculum that you're now all proud of yourselves that you're going to steal money on. Next point on the budget, you cannot budget based on a 501c3's income. That's not a thing. The boosters are a separate 501c3. I don't know where any of you got your accounting background, but that is actually not something that goes into a budget, that you are counting on a nonprofit giving you money. Show me the contribution agreement. Show me the grant agreement where the boosters have guaranteed that they will give you a specific amount of money. The next creative idea, we're going to rent all our facilities for large sums of money. Have any of you looked at our rental policy already? Have any of you gone and read it? Do you know what the rates are? I do. Do you know why I know? Because one of the local theater companies that you would really love to rent to actually explored renting the Black Box to have 9 shows a year in it, 1 a month. It was so cost prohibitive compared to every other venue around you that they went to a different venue. They are not alone. You all need to own what you have done. The claims about the teacher's contract, would anyone like to read it? Because the 20 minutes of additional elementary time explicitly says the teachers can't be required to do anything during that time. They are not required to actually use that time for any version of work-related purposes. I'm sure some will choose to, but many could sit and read a book. They are complying with the contract if they do that. The high school, the big win that you got 5 out of 7 classes being taught, you currently have 4 out of 6. In every other district, teachers teach all periods except for they get 1 prep period. In this district, they get 2. That is not normal. That would have saved $1.5 million. You didn't get that. You got, we'll still teach and we'll have 2 periods off still, and you capped the number of students they're required to teach, thereby leaving them exactly situated the same. But for added fun measure, I fully support paid parental leave. What did this committee do? It gave paid parental leave to those who've worked for us for a grand total of 3 months. Is there anywhere in the private marketplace where that is included? There's usually a 1-year lockout. You also gave a 2-year unpaid parental leave to anyone, regardless of how long they've been with the district. And if they've worked for the district for 90 days during the first year they take that leave, they get to come back at the next step. So let's not celebrate your market rate contract. Let's be honest about where we are. Dr. Botello, you did not do your job tonight. Every other superintendent before you, dating back to Dr. Claire Jackson, which takes us all the way back to the early 20-aughts, has presented a balanced budget that balances to the priorities number. They've never come to the table with their wish list. They show what the cuts are that they're making to get to that number. They don't sit here with their hand out and act like they're just going to grab excess levy capacity and raise everyone's taxes because boo-hoo, we didn't do our jobs. I'm tired of the justification. I want my school committee to listen to the public. Oh, one more thing. You all conveniently left out that you miserably failed to understand how Chapter 70 works. And you promised the public last year that if this town gave you $590,000 of free cash in yet another one-time ask, full day K would be fully paid for by an increase in state aid forevermore. You've conveniently left the fact out that that's not actually happening. It's not happening because you didn't understand how Chapter 70 works. You didn't understand that if our low-income students go down, if our English language learners go down, if certain populations go down, we don't qualify for as much. You also didn't understand that from 2010 until 2022, or 2013 to 2022, we were a minimum aid district. We got the minimum aid under state aid. You all decided that the 2 boom years we had, that the town administrator for this town, that myself, that FinCom, that numerous other people warned you were one-time experiences, was how you were going to budget moving forward. The thing I've not heard a single one of you say yet is, I'm sorry. I made a really big mistake. None of this is okay. This is all gonna hurt. We're gonna have to deal with it. And you're having, hilariously, a budget hearing where you haven't presented how you're gonna balance the budget. You're waiting for Rumpelstiltskin to spin gold in your backyard. I'm looking at a budget where you have fuel increasing on your regular ed transport. No, it's decreasing on regular ed transport by $16,000. It's increasing on your sped van transport by $50,000. Do these things use different kinds of fuel? Has anybody actually looked? There's a slush fund line in the budget at the moment that's about $400,000 that just says raises. Like the person who was creating it ran out of time to do their job and put it where it belonged. They got about 2/3 of the raises where they belonged, and then they just kind of went, oh, sorry, all done. Probably because you knew you had to get it out, or you didn't know you had to get it out till I sent you the statute. This is embarrassing, guys. This was not a good conversation. This was not a pull together moment. Yeah, we would all love class sizes. You haven't talked about fees either. Why are you projecting increases in athletic payments from the budget? The fees haven't gone up even by inflation since 2021. What are you doing? Nobody's mentioned fees. None of you. You're all just like, yeah, we're going to have all this free stuff. It's awesome. We're going to hammer the taxpayer. I am so embarrassed for all of you. This is not what this town deserves. Thank you.
Georgiana Lewis.